Hi, I'm Doug McKinlay for Adorama TV. Now, great landscape pictures are more than just the land. To make those stunning vistas work, the sky is an integral part. A boring gray sky makes for boring pictures. But how do we drag the drama out of those skies to make our pictures really sing? And that's what we're going to look at today. I love doing landscape pictures, but even though I've been a professional photographer for going on 3 decades now, I'm still quite new to landscape photography. It's been only the last 4 or 5 years when I've really started to concentrate on it. Most of my work has been done in the reportage, travel, and documentary arenas. So when I turned my focus onto landscapes, I had a whole new set of skills I had to learn. And one of those skills was learning to understand how skies work. I'd come back sometimes with pictures with really blown out backgrounds and really underexposed foregrounds. And it took me a while to figure out not just to use the filters to help you with those, but to really start to understand the skies and how much of an impact they have on making a good picture. And that comes down to something like we talked about in the previous video, is planning, watching the weather, keeping your eyes on that forecast, understanding the times of day and the times of year. But you really need to think about your skies in order to get some of those great pictures. I just talked a little bit about times of day for your photography. Now, for landscape, of course, it's still the mornings and afternoons when you're going to get probably the best light for pictures. You get better direction in the light, and it really helps create dramatic skies for your pictures. But don't forget, other times of day also work. When the sky's straight up and down, especially if the clouds are quite white and puffy, you can really pull that blue sky out of the background, especially if you use a polarizing filter, and you can make that stand right out. So your skies here are going to create drama as well. And don't forget clouds, the bread and butter of dramatic skies. Clouds have this amazing ability to evoke emotion, fear and foreboding, happiness, sadness, and everything in between. They're the one element that binds the whole picture together. So it's imperative you study them, watch how they move, what times of day do they look the best, and don't dismiss them in favor of some boring horizon blue sky. Save that for your day at the beach. Now, good landscape pictures are a combination of different elements. The sky, of course, being a very important one. But it can't work on its own. It cannot hold the picture by itself. It needs some help. Landscape pictures are like a jigsaw puzzle where every piece has its place. So other elements, things like bridges or streams or rivers or mountains or whatever, are really going to help bring that landscape together. So it's very important that you look for those elements to put in your picture. Part of adding those elements to your picture to make them work is paying attention to the exposure. Now with landscape pictures, typically you're going to get a sky that might be brighter than the foreground, so you want to try and even that out. Now we have talked about the different kinds of filters to use in this situation in a previous video, but to recap, it's graduated neutral density filters that help to darken the background and keep the foreground a little lighter, try to even it out. Otherwise, you can shoot different images of the same scene at different exposures and combine them in the computer. Personally though, I prefer to use the filters because I like to get most of my work done in the camera rather than the computer. Polarizing filters are a really good tool here too. Now there's a couple of little things we can think about when it comes to adding a little drama to our skies in your pictures, things that nature may have left out. Now a simple thing to do is maybe try changing the color temperature in your camera to get a different feel. Doesn't always work, but you never know. Also, we might want to put a bit of blur in our shots. Now this is where we use a standard neutral density filter, and they come in different strengths, and that allows us to open our shutter speed for longer. So that gives us some motion in things like streams and rivers, etc., but also in clouds. It can really give you a really nice effect. It's a matter of experimentation. Now the only thing I'll say about this is you really need to use your tripod and a cable release in order to keep that whole platform stable. Now lens choice also plays a role on your quest for drama in your skies. Wide-angle lenses tend to exaggerate everything, making clouds overhead look like they're rushing past you, while longer lenses can isolate clouds and give that a real more dramatic feel, a much more detailed feel to the clouds. Points of view also play a role. If you're up high, like up on a mountain or on a small plane or even in a hot air balloon, you're going to get a very different take on how the sky looks. Also, that drama in the skies might be in places you don't expect. And I'm thinking things like reflections here. Now, the last thing I want to mention is computer work. Yes, images, especially those shot in RAW, which you should all be doing, need some work in the digital darkroom. But because we can substantially change images in the digital darkroom, it doesn't mean the computer is going to save your photographic bacon. You need to do the due diligence in the camera. This is at the forefront of your photography. Thanks for watching. I'm Doug McKinlay for Adorama TV. Don't forget, you can also subscribe to Adorama TV for more great videos and tell us what you think. You can like, comment, or share this video. And please stop by the Adorama Learning Center for more great tips and tricks.